Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to talk about, is economics an art or is it a science? Okay. Actually, every discipline is either a science or an art. But the question is, what is an art and what is a science? Okay. See, an art is something which you can learn by practicing. More you practice, more you learn. There are no fixed principles. Like dance is an art, singing is an art. There are no fixed principles. Okay. However, many may say that music is a science as well. And most of the disciplines are not absolute art or absolute science. In fact, they are a combination of two. It has certain principles which are universal in nature, which have cause and effect relationship, which can be tested. And on the other hand, it has certain things which can be learned only by practice. So 90% disciplines fall somewhere between art and science. But it depends whether they are more of science or more of art. So from that perspective, we say economics is a science because it has principles which are universal in nature. Means those principles can be applied to India, they can be applied to Pakistan, they can be applied to USA, all over the globe, any economy. They can be tested, they are universally proved, they have cause and effect relationships. So we call it to be a science. Okay. But it is an art as well because the way you implement these principles, that you learn through practice. But still, if I have to declare it one, I declare it to be a science. Okay. And now comes what kind of a science it is. It is not a science like that of chemistry, physics, or other physical sciences. It is a different science because it is dealing with human beings. When you are dealing with human beings, there cannot be very fixed principles. Like imagine that one of my student was absent yesterday. I asked him, why were you absent? So he may feel, I don't know, yeah, she's always after my life. Why is she always asking me why I was absent? Another child may feel, ma'am is so concerned for me. I am I am her favorite student, and she pays attention whether I am present or not. I asked same question, but I got different reactions from two different learners because I am dealing with human beings. So similarly, economics is dealing with human beings. Okay. Like generally speaking, we say when price rises, quantity demanded falls. But if somebody is addicted of something, say cigarettes, alcohol, the law doesn't work. No matter how much is the price, people are willing to buy because they are addicted to it. So when we are dealing with human beings, such problems do come. So one problem is it is based on assumptions. Like you will never hear in chemistry, bio, and physics that assume. But in economics, all principle starts with some assumptions. If assumptions fail, law fails. Laws are true only up to a point where your assumptions are true. If assumptions fail, law also fails. Okay. For example, I assume man is rational. So if man is not rational, my law will not work. I assume, say, other things being equal. Other things being equal means at one point of time, I am assuming only one thing will change. But if so many things are changing simultaneously, the laws of economics will fail. Like when I'm saying price rises, quantity demanded falls. Price rises, quantity demanded falls. So I am expecting all other things affecting demand to remain same. All other things like income of the consumer, price of competitive goods, government policies, everything. I'm assuming all other things to remain same. Taste and preferences of the consumer, I'm expecting them to remain same. Okay. Coming to next slide. Science and art. So we are trying to exhibit through an image how science and art vary. Art has no clear indications. An artist can do anything with the colors, but mathematics, physical sciences, they have fixed formula. Okay, so science has more of fixity and art has more of flexibility. Now we come to scarcity, which is the root of entire economics. If you don't understand scarcity, you can never ever understand economics. Okay. Scarcity says that our resources are limited. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurial skill, and at family level, my money, income. These things are very limited. But my needs, food, clothing, shelter, security, comfort, medicine, jewelry, affection, transportation, good health, children, variety in diet, knowledge, convenience, recognition, travel, wisdom, recreation, control, respect, power, entertainment, love. I have unlimited wants, and all these wants are unlimited in themselves. Like, I don't want only one pair of clothes. I want clothing also up to unlimited level, not only in numbers but also in quality. Okay, so looking at that, there is an imbalance. Resources are limited, wants are unlimited. So I have to bring some equilibrium, bring some balance, and this is what economics teaches me. So scarcity refers to limitation of supply in relation to demand for a commodity. It refers to the situation when wants exceed the available resources. As a result, goods are not readily available. Okay, like scarcity is pervasive. You can't say that in India there is scarcity, in USA there is no scarcity. No, in every economy there is scarcity, because agreed that their income is more than ours, but their needs are also multiplying at a much faster rate. Okay, if your income doubles, your wants get 4 times. If your income increases at according to arithmetic progression, your wants increase as per geometric progression. So you will never say that all my wants are fulfilled. I'm not talking of Buddha, they are exceptions, but generally speaking, a layman will never say my wants are fully satisfied. Okay, economic problem. Economic problem is problem of making choice in the presence of scarcity. You should also understand one more thing about scarcity, that I can't say if something is 1,000 units it is abundant, and something is 5 units it is scarce. No, it is not about units, it is about demand and supply. If something is 5 units and demand is 3 units, it is abundant. If something is available in 1,000 units and demand is 5,000 units, it is scarce. Even if there is one mosquito in my room, it is abundant, because there is no demand for mosquitoes in my room. Okay, so it is not about quantity, it is about comparative of demand and supply. As long as demand is more than supply, commodity is said to be scarce. If supply is more than demand, it is abundant. Okay, so what is economic problem? Economic problem is problem of making choice. Had there been no scarcity, there would have been no economic problem. Just think of a situation that people can get whatever they want to buy, then there will be no economic problem at all. Understanding this. And practically it is not so. Practically resources are scarce. So an economy, whether it is developed or developing, rich or poor, mixed, capitalist or socialist, each and every economy is facing this problem. It has to make a choice, because we had understood three basic problems. So our objective is, since our resources are scarce, our objective is to use our resources effectively, efficiently, and economically. What do I mean by effectively? Effectively means within the time span. You say, I will learn chapter 1. By when? Effectively means you should give a time foundation to it. Now when you are saying, I will be learning it, you will just be learning it or understanding it? You will just be understanding it, or you will be able to use it in your real life situations. So that is efficiency. One thing is effectiveness, second thing is efficiency, and third thing is economical. There is a difference in the word economical and cheap. Please understand it. If I'm buying local footwear, they are for rupees say 500, I can say they are cheap. Okay, and I buy branded footwear, they are for rupee 2,000, I can say they are expensive. But if branded will last for 1 year, and local shoes will last for only 1 month, then you can say their life is 12 times, however their cost is 4 times. 500 and 2,000 4 times, and 1 month and 12 months 12 times. So I would still say that buying branded shoes is more economical. Understanding? So there is a difference in the word economical and cheap. Cheap means which one is costing lesser, and economical means which one is more efficient when I'm comparing cost with the output. Okay, understanding this. So in economics we simply don't say that if somebody is expensive, it is certainly uneconomical or non-economical. Answer is no. If its returns are accordingly, then we shall go for it. Understanding, like these days N95 mask, no matter how expensive it is, we need it. It is economical to buy it. Okay, that way. So when you are using your resources, and remember what your resources are. Your resources are, as a student, your resources are time, your resources are energy, your resources are thoughts. So you need to apply economics to these three: time, energy, and thoughts. You need to use your time, energy, and thoughts with these three E's: effectively, efficiently, and economically. Is it sensible to waste your entire day in thinking that so and so person is not talking to me? That's how you waste your time, and that's how you're not able to focus on your studies. Okay, so we shall be implementing economics on our real life as well. Okay, so this is economic problem. So according to Professor Robbins, the economic problem is the problem of choice, or the problem of economizing. Very beautiful term, economizing. Economizing means making best possible utilization of your resource. Honestly, check for yourself. In lockdown we have lot of time. How many of us are utilizing it to the optimum? Whatever resources you have, it may be time, it may be energy, it may be thoughts, it may be money, it may be land, it may be labor, it may be capital, it may be entrepreneurial skill, it may be my sharp mind, it may be my learning skill, it may be my writing skill, whatever. So making best possible utilization of each and every resource is called economizing of resources, and that is the ultimate objective of learning economics. You are an economic student in real sense of the word if you are able to economize your resources. Okay, thank you so much.